As the next speaker, I would like to invite Erki Saluveer from Estonia. He is the CTO of the company, of a startup company, Positium. And the main focus of the company is to deal with location-based data coming from telecom data. Erki will explain it much more detailed for us. But it's very important that his company is focusing on one kind of data. We saw from NG that merging of data, different sectors, challenging of the data. Now the aspect of Erki will be the opposite. One source of data to reuse for different elements, for statistics, also for solutions for transportation, etc. So Erki, you have the floor.
Thank you, Marta. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the opportunity to present the work that we do in Estonia. So my name is Erki Saluveer. I come from a university spin-off company called Positium, where we produce statistical indicators from telecom operator anonymized location data. The main focus of these developments is to produce these statistical indicators that would be used by mainly policymakers, but any other analytical teams that need that kind of data. And you may ask why we are doing it. So our background comes from human geography discipline. And human geographers have taken into their responsibility to solve problems like urbanization, transportation, tourism, and all these issues that rely heavily on the data about whereabouts of human beings. So it was currently, the data that they've been using is collected with traditional methods that rely heavily on huge manwork. And this is still the main case all over the world. So in order to collect the data, for example, for the transportation studies, they do the road surveys where the cars are stopped and the questioner asks, or they, for example, use some other technologies like loop detectors on the road to count how many cars are on the road. But still, the main methods for collecting the data is conducting surveys, for example, on the borders or on the streets or any other place, or just use the clickers to count how many people there are. And these are very much time-consuming methods, and as well, they are very expensive. So the question is, what could be a better data source to collect to kind of help out human geographers to answer their questions? And then we found out that there is one sensor that everybody is carrying freely. That's the mobile phone. And mobile phone is something that almost nobody is forgetting at home, and almost everybody have. So currently we have in the world more mobile phones than there are people already, and it's still increasing very heavily. Mobile phones, maybe some of you didn't know, but how the mobile operators work is that whenever you use the mobile phone, the location and time information is stored at their servers. And this is the case in any mobile operator network. Why shouldn't we use that kind of data? So together with the Data Protection Agency in Estonia, we found agreement together with them that in producing the statistical indicators, which are aggregates and anonymous, this is something that you could actually use and put into a good use. And we started to produce statistics that would make sense. And I will give you just some of the examples where the data is currently used in Estonia. So for example, one of the use cases is the National Bank of Estonia. During the recession time, the National Statistical Office decided that they have to cut their budget, and they terminated the border service that were the main data source for the National Bank of Estonia, who has to prepare the statistics, how much tourists are bringing money in and how much Estonians are taking money out to other countries, the payments of balance. And as they didn't have any other possibilities, so they turned to us. And now for the last years, they've been using these data derived from mobile operators to produce these statistics. And they are very happy with the data because it's much faster to collect than the border service. It has much bigger sample size, the quality of the data is much better, and as they emphasize themselves, it's much less burden on the tourist, for example. But these same indicators could be used in many different fields. So transportation, as I told you, here is a case of city of Tartu in Estonia, which basically built this ring road, East Ring Road. They had to do as well the preliminary study of building it. And again, it's very hard to collect the data of, for example, the transportation corridors because you have to apply many of these loop detectors. So the mobile phone data in aggregate form, for example, gives a good possibility to do it much faster again than with traditional methods, and it was used in this project. Or the same indicators are used in tourist sector. For example, different events happening in Estonia. In order to better manage them, and as well there are regional supports for these events, they need some statistics about these events. For example, what is the hinterland of the events, or how many foreigners they bring together. So again, this data source gives a good opportunity to analyze that kind of data. And especially what it is mainly used is to compare different events and see whether there is something that the events could work together maybe on because they share the same visitors, or just to see the competitive factor between the events. Or just to give you another example, Estonian police and border guard, they have to deploy their resources depending on the seasonality into different regions, because Estonia is a very seasonal country, so during the summer month, many people have second home, they go to there, so the police forces have to kind of follow the people in order to be really at their service. So they didn't have very accurate data to do that, and now they use kind of like a manual of where the people are in different times so that they could better manage their resources, just to give you as an example. But of course, there are many other cases, and you can see from this video some of the indicators that has been derived. And the data is one-day data from Estonia, which is the real data. But you may ask, why is it not used widely yet, as it kind of clearly gives the benefits? So the problem of using this data is, in my opinion, twofold. So firstly, of course, you can already imagine is the question of data privacy. And it's not so much about data privacy than just the regulation issues that are currently not clear how we access that kind of data. And this is a big challenge that we have to face as all societies, whether we want to use these kind of data for the benefit of society or not. And the other one that we have discovered is lack of skills of really using these new type of statistical indicators in everyday work for the policymakers. They've used to use mainly small data, or then basically just a lot of guesses of how the society works. And now, with these new methodologies, we have a load of data, and it's kind of, we are lacking the skills how to really make the decision based on on these different data sets that are available. So I would conclude maybe here. So we are looking into the future, even what are the other benefits that could be put into use in the future of this mobile phone data from telecom operators. And so, for example, one of the things that we are working together with the United Nations is Sustainable Development Goals that many countries, especially in the development world, could maybe use the data to measure their success over the time. Because there are many indicators that could be with much higher quality and lower cost than the traditional ones currently. So thank you very much.